Okay, so this is the back end of a Road Blasters Cockpit machine. Now this machine's been broken for several years because it's been near impossible to get to this machine. So basically there's a machine here that's been moved out of the way. Now I actually just moved, this machine was up against the wall. I'm just moving it a couple of foot out of the way. It's taken me a couple of hours. It's so heavy. It's at least, I don't know, 250 kilos maybe. And it's about 7 foot long, I think. So let's have a look. Wheels guard the monitor. So the monitor's actually dead in this. It started arcing, I could hear it, and then it's died. I think the board's got no speech as well, so we need to have a look at that. It looks like it wants a hoover. It's full of spiders' webs. So let's start cleaning it up, and then we'll get the monitor out and see if we can get the monitor working. Okay, I've got the meter connected up. Let's fire up the board and see what happens. Oh. We're getting pretty much zero reading on the meter there, and the LED's not lit. So it looks like the switch mode power supply has actually died in this. Okay, so I've got the Road Blasters board on the bench now, and it's powered up okay. But one problem we've got, if we just turn the speakers up, there's some strange noises going on in the audio section. Also there's no speech. And, well, I can tell you why there's no speech. See if we can get that to zoom in. There's actually a small hole just there in that speech chip. You can hardly see it. Yeah, it's very hard to... There you go. See that hole there? That's a hole in the chip. So that's obviously dead. Okay, I've removed the Pokey, the Yamaha sound chips, and the speech chip. We're still getting weird sounds coming out. So that means the sound problem's going to be in the amplifier / preamplifier section around here. So I've managed to swap in the cartridge board from a set where the CPU board was dead. And we'll just power it on. And the sound is much better. So we're going to stick this one in the cabinet. Okay, so this is the new power supply I'm going to fit. That's the old one, so I'm just going to swap the wires over now. That's the new power supply fitted, tested and set up correctly. The working board's been refitted. Now it's time to take this monitor chassis out. I need to get my discharging probe and discharge that anode first. Okay, so Road Blasters is working nicely now. However, let's just start a game. Left trigger works okay. Right doesn't. Does occasionally. And these are jammed. That was not too bad. That was completely jammed. So we need to put some new switches on this and take this apart. Okay, so I've replaced the bad switches. These are all good now. These thumb buttons are working, but they're a bit wobbly, so I need to buy some new buttons actually. Let's just fire up. It's all working nicely. Right, so the foot pedal is not registering the maximum position reliably. Sometimes you have to sort of wiggle it around. So just taking this assembly out, hoping I can remove it, and then we'll see if we can replace the pot on it, or at least test to see if it's bad or if it's the wiring. Now I'm going to test the actual potentiometer in a minute with my meter, but if you watch when this pedal's pressed, this metal peg here is catching on these wires, so they could be damaged internally and actually broken, so they're making intermittent contact. So I'm going to have to test that out and replace these wires if necessary. I think I might just do it anyway, to be honest. I can see there's a little pinch there in that wire, so that wouldn't be helping reliability. But yeah, we need to test this pot out to make sure that's actually working. So let's get the meter hooked up. Right, so I've got the pedal hooked up to my meter. Now this is where these bar graphs are actually useful on these meters. Now watch the bar graph as I press the pedal slowly. Now it should go up very smoothly and down again smoothly. So watch, going up smoothly, smoothly. And then as we get towards the end, it's jumping backwards and forwards a bit. Oh, jump, jump, and then jumps again. So we let it go slowly. See all that jumping in that area? So the first part, this part here, goes up and down smoothly. As soon as you get to about 2.5k, it starts jumping. Yep, look at that. So that last section is not smooth at all. That indicates that the track inside the pot is probably burnt out. So we're going to have to replace that pot. So we'll do the wires and the pot. Right, so I've assembled all the parts I need to fix this harness. So what I'm going to do is actually make it slightly longer so I can route the wiring better, so it's out of the way of that pin and doesn't get further damage in the future. I found 3 of these pots that are exactly the same type, so I'm going to test these out to find the best one out of those. I've got the crimp pins, got the crimp extractor to pull the old pins out. I've got the crimping tool for the pins, I've got the crimping tool for the lug, I've got cable up there, soldering equipment here, multimeter for testing, and my automatic wire strippers. So let's go ahead and make a new loom. Okay, that's the new loom made up. A little bit longer, probably about that much longer than the original, just to give it a bit more room to work on it. And there's the old one there. So I've just recycled this housing, but it's got new pins, new crimp terminal, and let's go and fit it to the machine. So I thought I'd crack open the old pot. This is the case. See all that carbon. That is the tracks. Yeah, that's the carbon from tracks that's burnt away over years of use. There you go, you can see it's all worn away. That's why the pot is jumping. So that's basically for the bin. Okay, and that's the replacement pot and the new wiring all done. Let's plug it back into the cab and see if it works. Okay, so the pedal's been refitted. Let's give it a test. So that was straight up to maximum speed. Let's try again.
Central weapon lost.
And one more time.
Warning, no fuel.
Let's just try some slower speeds. Well, that looks like the pedal's working absolutely fine. Let's give it some more play testing.